1 Super Bowl week, live from Miami, less than 2 weeks away. So looking forward to that. Aaron Rodgers put on a show last week, passing for 243 yards and 2 touchdowns on his way to his 10th career playoff win. The two-time MVP is 1-2 in conference championship games, and all 3 have been on the road, just like this one will be Sunday against the 49ers. Eric Dickerson still with us. But Skip, I will start with you.
Thank you.
How important is Sunday for Rodgers' legacy?
He badly needs to win this game because for 4 football seasons, I have had to sit across from this Hall of Famer hearing about how Aaron Rodgers is the greatest thrower of the football ever. And the harder I look at his playoff legacy, the more overrated it gets because it is full of holes and lucky breaks. Allow me to detail. Let's look at that first big wild card road run to his one and only Super Bowl, which happened to be 10 years ago. What happened? He went and beat Michael Vick at Philadelphia, not bad. And he beat Matt Ryan, who was still really struggling at Atlanta, not bad. Then he goes to Chicago, and he beats the Bears in the NFC title game while Jay Cutler is riding the bicycle in the second half. Remember that?
Where did Jay Cutler go to school at, Skip?
Vanderbilt. He was hurt. He had a sprained knee, and he rode the bicycle in the second half while he was watching Caleb Haney. Remember the great Caleb Haney? Quarterback the Chicago Bears against Aaron Rodgers, who stunk it up in the second half. Threw an interception to the great Brian Urlacher. And somehow survived Caleb Haney in the second half to get to a Super Bowl. And I give you this, he did beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in the Super Bowl. I can get into the whys of that game. But then what happened? These are his victories, his 6 wins since that one wild card run to a Super Bowl. He beat the mighty Joe Webb at home. Joe Webb was a receiver who was playing quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. Then he, at home, he survived, luckily, the Dallas Cowboys because Dez caught it. We all know Dez caught it. And that's the break of breaks right there. Then he got to beat Kirk Cousins in a playoff game in Washington, really? Then he was the benefactor of the Odell boat trip game. Remember that at Lambeau?
I do remember
when
that.
Odell just crushed his team's psyche by taking the receivers to Miami South Beach, where we're going to be, to get ready for a game up on the frozen tundra. Way to go, Odell. And then the Mason Crossbar game happens at Jerry World against Dak Prescott. Dak roars back all the way from 21-3 down to tied at 31-all. And Mason Crossbar makes the 2 damnedest field goals I've ever seen from 51 yards and 56 yards to barely win that game for Aaron Rodgers, who didn't play that great on that day. And then what happened last week in Seattle at Green Bay? They're without their 3 top running backs, and Aaron Rodgers manages to survive that game, which brings me to the games he lost at home. He lost to Eli at home when they were on their wild card playoff run to the Super Bowl. And that's the year that Aaron's team was 15-1, and they lost to Eli at home.
And they had a 32nd ranked defense. But okay, go ahead. I get your point.
He lost to Colin Kaepernick at home. Not terrible, but not great. And then he lost at Seattle in an overtime game in which he threw for a grand total of 178 yards, threw 2 interceptions in that game. He had a hurt calf.
Yeah,
right?
you know he's hurt.
Yeah, okay. So bottom line, Aaron Rodgers is now 1-2 in NFC Championship games with the one against Jay Cutler on a bike. And then, again, they got obliterated in another one at Atlanta in which Matt Ryan beat him 44-21. So I'm sorry, that's a really overrated playoff legacy.
I agree with you, Skip. This is very important for his legacy because there are very few quarterbacks that have 2 Super Bowl wins and even fewer that has 2 Super Bowl MVPs. And I believe that there to get to the Super Bowl and win it, he's going to have to play at an MVP level. And I think that's the thing that's holding him back. I'm not so sure, Skip, if he had another Super Bowl with an MVP on his resume, he'd probably been one of the 10 quarterbacks that make the Centennial team.
Oh, wow.
You know, they took 10 quarterbacks, and I believe he would have been one of them with another one on his resume. And pulling this off on the road, Skip, the thing that John Elway was able to become John Elway, the drive happened in Cleveland. And it got him to his first Super Bowl. So when you can do things like Tom Brady, 2 of his first 3 Super Bowls, he had to go to Pittsburgh. So you get a lot more the degree of difficulty And the more credit, you get more credit for doing it on the road as opposed to doing it at home. Now, where you try to shortchange old Aaron Rodgers, I ain't gonna let you do that. His defenses, you know, he had 7 playoff losses, Skip. Do you know his defense is averaging giving up 36 points in those losses? He mentioned how Giants and Eli beat him. But he didn't tell you that the Giants offense scored 37 on that defense. Now, you mentioned Matt Ryan got 44 on him. Did you know Kurt Warner put a 51 spot on him in the playoffs? How many games? Oh, now, you remember, Skip, Belichick defense gave up 40, how many points did he give up? 41 to the backup.
Yep.
Kurt Warner got 51. Matt Ryan got 44. Not Matt Ryan, excuse me, not Matt Ryan got 44. Eli got 30. And you say Eli, how Eli scored 37? Eli ain't scored 37 in the last 2-3 years combined. And he got 37 against one game. So this is, and I think the thing, and we all said, if Aaron Rodgers had a top 10 scoring defense, well, he has that now. So there's a lot of pressure on him. You know, this notion that there's more pressure on the 49ers, there's a lot of pressure on you, Aaron, for the simple fact is that you have a top-flight defense now, which many said, had you had that in the past, you would have gotten to a little further. So it's going to be very, very interesting, but I'm still taking the 49ers. I believe the 49ers have the better team. The Green Bay Packers have the better quarterback. But even though being the better quarterback, it's hard to overcome better teams as LeBron James, because he's been GOAT for a while.
All right, so you know this guy I'm finna mention. It was a guy by the name of John Elway.
Yep.
He went to Super Bowls, 3 Super Bowls. What was he in those Super Bowls?
0-3.
0-3. Matter of fact, he got beat 55-10 by the 49ers.
42-10.
42-10. Redskins beat up on the Giants, beat up on him. But what did he finally get that made him get to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl at a late age?
Running game.
A running game.
Just running back.
A running game. And that is what the Green Bay Packers have now in Aaron Jones. Now, I'm not saying he's TD by no means. He's not TD. But, you know, he gives him some help, something he's never had. When you look at Aaron Rodgers, he's never had a lot of weapons. It's almost like he has to do it on his own. He has Devontae Adams, he has Aaron Jones on offense. This defense, they say, it's hit or miss. Right. It's not a Chicago Bears. It's not a great defense. It's not a San Francisco 49ers defense.
Nope.
I mean, I feel like that I'm going to have to take the 49ers in this game, but I do believe this. I do believe that Aaron Rodgers will win another Super Bowl before he retires, maybe even 2, because I think I say 1. I say maybe 2. That's what I say. That's what I say. Maybe 2. Just like John Elway did late in his career. I mean, that's what. But you've got to have a running game. But in this football game, I've got to take the 49ers. The 49ers have, you know, that defense is playing. They got 5 first-rounders on that defense. You know, they coach well. You know, they play hard. They're at home. They run the football.
They run.
I think last week they ran the ball like 12 times in a row, nonstop. So, you know, I'm gonna take the 49ers in this football game.
Who you taking?
Well, obviously, I'm taking the 49ers, and I'm taking them big here.
Whoa, talk about. You talking about Aaron Rodgers, this transcendent thrower, you know.
No, I'm not. I'm saying he's not. His legacy is completely overrated, and you try weekly to defend it, and yet it's a huge opportunity for him. Because if he's the guy you say he still is, and you keep saying he's still that guy, which I have not seen all year because he has slowly eroded. All of his stats
stop saying that.
Well, they just have. He's in decline. But if he can rise above this game, he's obviously the better quarterback between him and Jimmy G. If we just go quarterback to quarterback, he should win this game.
Since you like to put stuff in a vacuum, I know a quarterback that Jimmy G is better than and still playing. But that's neither here nor there. Skip Bayless, it's hard to overcome when your team, your defense gives up 50+. It's hard to overcome because you just said the guy gave up 41 in the Super Bowl. You blame Coach Belichick defense. Now, Aaron Rodgers' defense gave up 44 to Matt Ryan.
He blamed Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. I've got to figure.
He's transcendent thrower of the football. You got to be better.
Is Brady transcendent?
How about that game at Seattle? How do you explain that? Because, listen, Aaron Rodgers took a public beating from all the columnists up in Wisconsin for that NFC Championship game they lost because they were the better team. I know some crazy things happened at the end of the game.
I blame that on Mike McCarthy. I mean, you're onside kick away. If you get the onside, Brian Bostic, he blew it. He was supposed to block, and he didn't do his job. I guess he didn't watch that documentary that Coach Belichick had put out, Do Your Job. Because he was trying to do somebody else's job, which would receive the ball, which he should have been blocking.
It should not have come to that. Aaron Rodgers has to be better than 2 interceptions and 178 yards passing. They were on fire coming into that game, and
There wasn't no fire.
He did not live up.
He was just on fire against the Cowboys.
Just know that I wouldn't be shocked if he won. Now, I would be like, oh, my God. I mean, the only guy that could possibly do this would be Aaron Rodgers. But
I think he's going to be running for his life.
Yeah.
Well, I can't pick the Packers because I'm clearly from Minnesota, but I loved your storyline of what happened in 1967. And if they were to win and go back and face the Chiefs, 100 years, I love that.
Come full circle to Super Bowl I, played out here in the L.A. Coliseum.
My homeboy going. My homeboy going to be there.
That's storybook.
It's a done deal.
My homeboy book it.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Storybook.
Can
Glad
I
you
get
said
some
that.
news on that?
Yeah, you get some. Oh, yeah, you already know you get some.
Really?
It's all over
Yeah,
the place.
yeah.
Eric, thank you for joining us. Enjoy all the games on Sunday. And don't forget, we have a Super 6 NFL playoffs contest this weekend in that Packers-49ers game in Santa Clara. Make sure you download the Fox Sports Super 6 app and play for free for a chance to win Terry Bradshaw's $25,000. More Undisputed after this.